Moshimoshi.
Oh wow, that was thank you. Hello and welcome.
Welcome back to Uncannime.
Welcome back. Big strong man.
Strong
Man.
Today,
I'm gonna do something a little bit
so what?
different.
Let's put a little bit of background. How long has it been? A year and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Not even.
Not even.
And we've had over 200 roleplays that we've written
On Discord.
on Discord. We used to write for 10 hours a day
Yeah, until
until recently. Now we're down to like
4 hours a day.
So we have a lot of chats.
We do.
Which are the roleplays. And what?
So
2 or 3 of them are like 200 pages worth.
over 200 pages worth. We
Yeah.
could literally post some of these and it could be a novel.
Yeah, we could.
It could be a
make
book.
it
We can make quite a few books out of these. So
Today, we're just gonna go through and see how. This is one of our very first ones.
very, very first. It's like,
April 1st, 2020.
yeah, this was like the second role play that we have ever created together.
Yeah. Well, our second by ourselves.
By ourselves.
It's
without,
like our 4th or 5th one together, though.
Yeah, without friends or anybody else. So this was April 20th, 2021. 2020.
It's a mermaid one. It's based off of a fan fiction he read.
Yes, it's
But
called...
we changed it. There's different characters. It was a My Hero Academia universe one, so bear with us.
Bear with us. We did tweak some things about personalities, but these are our 2 own original characters. His name is Kuro, and yours?
Naoko
Naoko and Kuro. Yeah, so we just thought we would sit down and read through some of our chats.
Yeah. We will have to censor some bits because
They'd be spicy.
it'd be spicy.
Or they're not appropriate to put online, because we do have...
I was thinking that maybe we could just, like, Patreon allows you to upload videos, so if we ever do Patreon again, we could do uncensored videos.
Oh, that would be nice.
Let us know.
Let us know if you want to have the uncensored version of these, but we will have to censor ourselves. Digress. Alrighty. So, I will be playing the role of Kuro. She will be playing the role of Naoko. And
Naoko's deaf, by the way.
And Kuro is the merman. We wrote this in 3rd person, so bear with us. And this is one of our very first ones by ourselves. So it's kind of bad, but kind of good at the same time.
Alright, you want to read your chats?
I will go first. I start.
Here we go.
Alright, here we go.
I'm trying so hard not to make anyone else wake anyone else with my laughing.
Same, I'm giggling so fucking hard right now.
Great, doing business with you.
Cracks knuckles, finally, my element. Same here, bro. Okay, I can start.
Okay, wait, how old is he in this one?
Kuro couldn't breathe. For the 1000th time that day, the stupid humans, parentheses, he's about 20 in human years, put him in a tank with that disgusting chemical.
Sip it out straight,
chlorine.
Naoko will be 19.
His sensitive skin burns, as do his eyes and gills, as he tries and fails to filter the highly chlorinated water. He hisses at the human outside the glass, his spine flaring up. He can't get away. He can't. Oi, fish brains, time for your next fight. Better fucking win or no food for a month. A human with matted blue hair laughs as Kuro shrinks back into fear upon seeing the capital...
Matted blue hair? Like,
Yeah.
his hair is matted to his head?
Yeah, it's like Shigaraki.
That's
supposed to be Shigaraki.
Oh.
I think, yeah, his hair looks matted to me in the anime.
It's just frizzy.
Shrinks back in fear upon seeing the cattle prong in the human's hand. His stomach growls loudly. He needs to eat, but once more, humans have no idea how sensitive his stomach is.
Naoko rides in the passenger seat of the UA Mermaid Rescue and Rehabilitation Facility's car. Oh, that was a big word.
That was a big
I
word.
can't believe I wrote that word.
At freaking 1:06 in the morning.
So you mean we're actually responding to an anonymous tip on a fighting ring? His stomach soured in disgust. His trainer laughed. Don't worry, kiddo. We'll take good care of any we find. He handed Naoko the gray hat. Put this on.
The older man already contacted the police, and they were on the scene when they arrived. All Might, aka the world's greatest marine biologist, aka the greatest marine biologist ever in the world, because I can, grabs his medical bag with Naoko in tow. They walk up to where the police are waiting. Kuro screams a challenge at the intruder in his tank. The humans crowd around the glass, pounding on it, screaming and shouting as Kuro and the other merc rip and tear at each other with intent to kill. Kuro hates this. He usually is a very personal, peaceful mer, but this is absolute hell. He ends up winning, but at a great cost. He says a silent prayer to the moon goddess as he is dragged from the tank and tied up. He screams in pain as the rope cuts into his wounds.
They stand outside for 10 minutes during the fight, discussing the best point of entry. Naoko's getting agitated because he wants to storm in and stop the ring. But All Might's hand on his shoulder reminds him that they need to catch the perps too.
I can't believe I said the perps. The perps, we gotta catch the perps.
He sighs. He winces as a scream cuts through the air. So he has these glasses that give subtitles. So it's kind of...
That was a really cool touch. I do appreciate it.
I did like using that.
That was really smart.
He's instantly running behind the police and All Might as they sprint.
Kuro gasps for breath as the rope is tied around his gills and he's thrown into the tank. He can't breathe. He's thrashing and trying to breathe. He can't breathe. This was at like 2 in the morning, so I was typing.
2:14 a.m.
2:14 a.m. He's thrashing and trying to break the ropes, but years of neglect make him weak.
There's yelling and chaos as the police enter the ring. They overlook Kuro and start slapping on handcuffs. Naoko runs into All Might's back as All Might tells him to wait at the door. Now. We call him Now for short. Now is irritated and wants to help. However, he waits as ordered.
Kuro stirs slightly, but not much. He's dying. He's dying like this. God, angsty boy.
A splash gets... We were so angsty.
We were super angsty.
A splash gets his attention. He looks up to see an anchor sinking in one of the tanks. How unusual. He approaches it and suddenly is face to face with the wounded merman. He's not moving and Naoko becomes worried. He strips off his jacket and grabs the edge of the glass and hoists himself over and into the water. He tastes chlorine as he swims to the merman and opens...
Build knife?
Build knife? What's build knife? I don't know.
I think it was something I told you
it's
about.
probably his knife.
Probably, yeah.
Opens his knife and begins wasting the rope.
Wasting the rope.
Being minded.
Oh my god.
The chlorine must have been bad for him. He tore the doze away from the mare's gills. He was running out of...
Yeah. So Jax absolutely changed her sleep schedule for me when we were writing together because we looked at different time zones at the time. Yeah. And you were staying up. You were staying up till like 3 in the morning.
I went from like 10 hours of sleep to 3.
To 3, yeah, me too. Because both of us wanted to write as much as possible.
Well, we were so busy.
But both of us were so busy. Like, I had classes all day and you were working.
I worked dawn to dusk.
Yeah.
He grabs him underneath his arms and swims upwards, calling out to All Might as he broke the surface.
Oh, yeah.
For emergency here.
All Might comes rushing over and helps pull the mer out. Usually, a mer weighs between 200 to 300 pounds and requires a crane to lift them, but this mer is light enough to be lifted by 2 people. All Might grabs the bucket of salt water he brought with him and begins pouring it over the mer's neck. Come on, bud, breathe for me, All Might says as he rubs the mer's chest with the knuckle to stimulate his heart. Chest rub! That shit hurts.
Naoko refuses to get out till the mermaid is completely free of the tank. He plops down next to him and begins to copy All Might. To be honest, he'd never seen a merman in person before, and he was very concerned that it would end badly. He noticed some plastic in one of the gills. He used tweezers and removed it angry.
Just then, the mer jerks awake, gasping for breath as he looks around panicked. He feels something touching him. Something soothing. Familiar? He realizes it's salt water. Desperate, he tries to find the source of said salt water. He whimpers and trashes around, aggravating his wounds and burnt his skin. He screams in pain.
Naoko expected this and grabbed the bucket from All Might and dunked the merman's head in it to distract him while All Might uses a sedative on him. Naoko was an interesting character. He was all scared and stuff, but like when he got in the mood, he was ready to go. He worked it. Okay, yeah, he just like full on grabbed Kuro by the back of the head and just attempted to breathe. Kuro sucks down deep draughts of water when sharp pain radiates up his arm. He jerks harshly, his spine's flaring out as he screams and lashes out blindly. He ends up striking Naoko's face and leaving a cut, but Naoko held on, very sad that he was in pain. Just a second, friend, he murmured, holding him in place. The sedative kicks in and Kuro fights it as best as he can, but soon he's fast asleep and completely lax. Naoko pulls his head out of the water slowly. The other experts had a breast had already begun transfer on others, less wounded mares, and the arrests were almost all done. He looked at All Might and asked, "Can he go back in the back of our cab? I don't want him left unattended while we clean the chemical burns out." "Let me make sure the water is salty enough, and I need to call ahead. He needs treatment ASAP. Now ran to the car and radioed in a code 4 red and ran back as fast as he could. They're setting up a personal tank right now. He finally looked at the merman's whole body. Wow, he's a beauty. What species?
Now that the Mur is asleep, now can get a better look. Lionfish, or deep ocean, I think. He's extremely skinny for a Mur his size, and he's about 20 in human years, judging by the rings on his spine, All Might says. His tail is beautiful, but the colors are dull and sickly, not the normal bright colors that Murs have. His face is angular and very handsome, with sharp-ass teeth and claws for hunting. He has a swirly design pattern on him, but it's hard to see because he's so sick.
Now size. He began to take the mandatory pre-report pictures.
All Might gently checks the Mur's body. Male, I was correct, he's about 20 in human years. Multiple lacerations to tail, torso, and arms. Minor bruises and cuts on face. Skin is dry and burnt from chemicals, and breathing problems would be evident soon. 4 hours later, the Mur is in a medical tank. It's about 4 feet high with plexiglass walls and medicated water that will help with the Mur's skin and pain.
Yeah, his name was 2417, and he's a deep ocean, as he said. He is bred to fight and kill and has never seen the ocean. He's been transferred between 3 rings, this one the only one to very near kill him.
We should give him a name. I don't want to be calling him by some number. All Might grimaced as Kuro stirs slightly. His tail fluke twitches as the Mur wiggles to get more comfortable. Do you know tail flukes are like the end of the tail, the floppy bit. There you go.
Now jumped to his feet and ran to the glass, pressing his face against it. He's awake!
He's like a child. He's awake! Kuro blinks sleepily before shooting awake in pure panic. Where is he? Who are these humans? What is this trapping and why does his skin hurt? He hisses loudly and tears the floats off him and the bandages before swimming down to the corner to make himself feel smaller and safer. He hisses at Naoko and gnashes his sharp teeth as a threat to stay away.
Naoko freaked out. No, you need the bandages, they'll help you.
All Might chuckles and places his hand on Naoko's shoulder. Relax, young man. He's scared. Shouting won't help the situation. I feel like I should do the All Might voice. Relax, young man.
Scared.
He is always scared.
Shouting won't help the situation.
He says softly. All Might climbs over the ladder. It's spelled L-A-T-T. To sit on the platform jutting out over the water's edge. Using his body, he takes on a relaxed slump over a sitting position with his head down, and he makes a chirp sound. Kuro at once is captivated. This human just submitted to him? Is this a trap?
Naoko blushes. He tried his best never to mess up in front of All Might. He slowly walks over to watch.
Slowly, Kuro unfurls from his corner and swims over. All Might continues to maintain that stance as the Mur pokes his head out of the water.
We're at 3:14 a.m., dude.
Oh, yeah. I'm at 2:14 right now.
That's because I was at...
Yeah, you were at a different time zone. It was 2:14 in my area. Slowly, Kuro unfurls... All Might continues to maintain that stance as the Mur pokes his head out of the water. Slowly, as the Mur gets close, he pulls himself out of the water, his arms on either side of All Might as he sniffs his hair and face. Then, he slowly butts his head with the blonde man, getting a chuckle out of him, as he raises his hand to touch the Mur. Kuro hisses and nips at hand and swims away as All Might laughs, his great booming laugh. I should not have done that. Sorry, young man, I did not mean to frighten you. He turns to Naoko. Now, what do you think just happened?
Naoko is all struck. He came out of the water. Is this a way for you to tell him you're friendly? He wanted to try it out, like a dumbass.
Like a dumbass? Close, but why did they headbutt me, though?
Naoko rolled the back of his head. Dominance?
We were already... Oh, shut up. One last try.
Now thought hard. I'm not sure then, sir.
He was saying hello. Deep ocean Murs greet each other by pressing their foreheads together.
That voice.
Okay. He's saying hello. Deep ocean Murs greet each other by pressing their foreheads together and wrapping their tails around one another. It is a display of affection and of being comfortable with the other Mer.
This is when I got irritated with you one of the first times, is because you controlled my character, and I was like...
Yeah, I was kind of mean about that. In the middle of the night, Naoko is woken by distant screaming. Confused and worried, he stumbles out of bed and follows the sounds to the source. It bursts into the medical room to find the Mur they rescued yesterday in full attack mode, and another person standing in front of the tank.
I think we gave Naoko hearing aids in this one.
Yeah, we did. The waterproof ones.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So, we really hate Mineta in this household. Oh, great.
He's a
It's
good
Mineta.
amount of our villain.
We hate Mineta in this household. Kuro screams a challenge at the short, ugly human in front of him as the human taps on the glass, causing Kuro's very sensitive ears to hurt. Geez, for such a pathetic-looking one, you sure do have some lungs, huh? Mineta laughed, as Kuro slaps himself against the glass, scratching it at pure panic and fury. The Mur's tail suddenly collides with the side of the tank with a loud bang, and a crack forms. Holy shit! Kuro does it again, and when he sees the other human, he screams for another challenge as he hits the glass again. Another crack.
Naoko waved his arms and shoved Mineta away. Fuck off, dude. He ran to the top of the platform and did the only thing he could think of. He chirped. If Crow kept hitting the glass, he was going to shatter it, and it could hurt him. Naoko flipped Mineta off and continued to try and get the merman's attention.
Crow whips around when he hears that chirping sound. He knows that sound. Where? He spots the human from earlier and shrinks back slightly confused, but no longer attacking the glass of the tank. He hisses softly as the other human sits down in the same position that All Might did earlier. He doesn't move when Mineta pounds on the glass, and Crow loses it. He whirls around and shrieks his loudest challenge yet, and the body slams into the glass. The glass gives out, the tank ruptures, knocking Mineta down as Crow quickly pins the human down. His jaw unhinges as he pins the human down by his neck, his tongue flickering slightly as he screams into the human's face. Crow's tongue be looking like Venom's over here.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Well, it comes later on.
Naoko screamed and hit his panic button to alert All Might, and he dove in after the merman in the water. It should be faster than running around and wading through everything. Stop, he tried to push between the two to separate them. He began to shake in fear as he saw Crow's mouth, but he tried to make eye contact. Please stop the water, he pointed at the mess.
We're both cackling at this. Crow's irises are pinpricks as he looks at the human next to him before looking at the one under. Slowly, his jaw closes and his tongue moves back to its proper place. Luckily, all the floors at UA have drains installed in case of something like this happening, so the water is already draining. He hisses at the human below him one last time to say, "You got off easy."
Now didn't move, being very cautious. He dragged Mineta from under Crow's body and hits him on the side of the face like... All Might is so going to kick your butt.
Mineta lets out a pathetic whine as Crow curls up in a protective ball watching the humans. All Might comes crashing through the doors, scaring the poor Marine. Crow yelps and tries to hide, but he can't since he smashed a giant hole in the tank. He whispers, knowing he's going to get in so much trouble for this. And I can't read. All Might is seething with anger, but not the Mer or Naoko. He calls security before moving to the Mer, kneeling in front of him and making a combination of chirps, clicks, and whistles. They sound like dolphins and beluga whales combined, basically. Beluga whales are actually have more vocal range than dolphins. Anyways, the Mer pricks up a bit as he responds, tears in his eyes as he tells All Might what happened. I was asleep and then someone was pounding on my tank and I panicked. I'm sorry for doing that. I know I'm bad.
Naoko steps back and goes to grab a broom to clean the glass up. There's a sharp pain in his hand and he notices there's a shard of glass jutting out from it. He sighs, realizing he probably got it when he's trying to separate the two. He pulls it out, allowing his blood to flow out, and he knelt down to pull out a bandage. Naoko always has a first aid kit in his pockets. He's super paranoid. It's so cute.
I love it.
He's pissed at Mineta and kept glancing at All Might and the merman. How did All Might know how to communicate with him? It looked like the merman understood and was talking back with the marine biologist.
Crow smells blood and looks over. Oh no. The human got hurt because of him. He whimpers and slithers over to Naoko, ignoring the glass on the ground. He grabs the human's hand and starts to examine the wound, but gentle touches and sniffs. Suddenly, he licks the wound! Naoko yelps in surprise as he pulls his hand away. Crow screams back. As Nao's palm starts to tingle, the pain increases for a second, and then it melts away like sand falling through your fingers. Don't touch him. Crow is slowly on the mend. His tail is healing well, and he's pulling on weight. He's curled up in his cave when he hears something approaching. Is it shark time? Because Crow needs to be able to save his exposure.
My characters tend to get in trouble.
They do, and then I tend to come in and swoop in and be the egg. I was quietly enjoying grooming himself in his new home as he brushes his hair and goes back and forth. Suddenly, someone is grabbing Naoko and holding him from behind.
Naoko is trying to call in panic, but a gloved hand smothers his voice. He feels himself start to be dragged off. He's grunting and his feet are sliding as he tries to fight back, but he was off balance. Naoko is so clumsy. He's so off balance.
He is so clumsy. Person drags him outside to the shark area. Crow's tank is right next to him, separated by a low wall that divides the enclosure. The person pushes him harshly, and Naoko falls into the shark tank's cage. The top is slammed shut and locked as the person laughs and walks away. Crow looks up when he senses vibrations coming from the shark tank. Usually, the sharks are pretty quiet at night.
Naoko hits the bars. Hey, the figure kept walking. This isn't funny. Let me out. There was a shudder, and the cage began to lower. Fuck! He climbed to the top of the page. Stop! You're gonna kill me! He began to panic. The water was to his chest now. Naoko tried to hit the panic button, but the water had fried it.
Crow hears shouting and decides to investigate. He swims out of his cage and pokes his head above the water, only slightly. Wait, why is that human cat trapped in a cage?
There was movement and a great white hit the cage. Bro, Mineta also threw in dead fish with him to irritate the sharks.
Oh shit.
Naoko stuck his hand out at the top of the tank to try and get attention as the tank's submitted entirely. It's submerged entirely. The tank shuddered as it began to be rammed by the great shark. He swam to the opposite corner, praying for a miracle. Mineta slipped out of the room, locking the door behind him as he whistled and went to catch an owlbear.
Kuro to the rescue! Kuro knows something is wrong. That human who was being mean to him. And that's the nice human with glasses. With a snarl, Kuro launches himself out of the water and dives gracefully into the other enclosure. But Mineta doesn't see since his back is turned. Kuro quickly spots the shark and his body begins to glow a deep purple as he attacks the shark with a scream. He twirls around, slaps the shark with his spines, and the shark instantly goes stiff as Kuro swims to the cage. Naoko recognizes the purple light and to be the Myrrh as Kuro examines the cage, trying to figure out how to get him out.
Naoko is getting dizzy. His movements are slow, but he points to the lock. He inhaled water and began to spasm the cage. Kuro, the best.
Kuro sees the human panicking and realizes why. Humans can't breathe underwater. Nitira, he curses. I've made up random words. Nitira, he curses and moves to the log. With a strong tug, he gets it off and throws the cage open, swimming in. Naoko is now going still. Is going still now as Kuro grabs him under the arms, and with a strong flick of his tail, he launches them out of the cage and into the surface.
Naoko isn't responding.
Bum, bum, bum. Kuro chucks him up to the deck before dragging himself out as well. He quickly presses his ear to the human's chest. It doesn't move quickly, tilts the human's head back, and places his hand over their mouth. Focusing, he imagines? I didn't spell imagines right. He imagines pulling the water out of the human's lungs, and slowly, he moves his hand away from the state and a stream of water follows. In a few seconds, he has a glob of water he pulled out of the human's lungs. Kind of like water bending. He lets the water go as he starts to shake the human, chirping in distress. Wake up, wake up.
Naoko inhales sharply, sitting up quickly. He knocks his head into the merman's and promptly knocks himself back out.
Right now.
Let me do my lines.
We like to one-up each other. Sorry. They dance to show off.
No, go back up.
Oh, wait.
It's best not to blush. Were you looking for me? He's very happy, however, and continued to pile salmon and clams into his bucket for Kuro.
Oh, very sweet. Beep,
So
beep.
I think we're good for
Beep.
today.
Yep. Beep.
Stop. Not in my ear, baby.
Sorry.
So, that was
Part 1
part 1.
of Swim Away With Me.
You'll have to let us know how you felt about that.
Yeah?
I have a ton. I have so many. We have different ones. We have different genres. If you can, put a request, if you'd say, oh, do you have one of these? We
probably would have it. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you're watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
That's flipping people off. That way. Peace.